Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about mounts, and more specifically we're going to talk about the 10 data mine trading post mounts which are coming to the game at some point through the trading post system of patch 10.05. But before we jump into all of the mounts and what they look like, just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, Dragonflight, Wrath the King Classic, any sort of World of Warcraft, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. Right, so yes, the trading post. This is a brand new system which is coming to the game on February 1st. Really fun system, a wonderful way to gain cosmetics from simply just playing the game and being subscribed to the game. And with the 10.05 data mining, there was a ton of mounts which were data mined and listed as rewards from the trading post. Now we have a pretty good idea of what's coming in February. We know for a fact there are already 2 mounts confirmed for the trading post, which we'll talk about in a minute, but as mentioned, there are 8 others which have been data mined. They look great. A lot of them are recolors of existing mounts, but I think the recolors look really good, and some of the existing mounts they are recolors of are quite difficult to get. So we'll go through all of those in a moment. Let's do a quick TLDR on the trading post. The trading post is essentially a fancy vendor that you can buy cosmetics for each month. It uses a currency called Trader's Tender, which you can get 1,000 of each month, and you can purchase cosmetics and mounts and pets with that, and that rotates every single month. But on top of that, there is a guaranteed reward from filling your bar on the Trader's Log, and the February reward is Ashadar, Harbinger of Dawn, which is our first mount we're going to take a look at. Now this mount is awesome. It is a Spectral Warden Tiger. It's so cool. Now the coolest thing about this mount is the fact that it changes color depending on the time of day. During the day I believe it's kind of a yellow color, and then at night it is more spectral. It is a really cool mount, and this is going to be a guaranteed reward from the trading post in February if you fill out your Traveler's Log. Now the other confirmed mount is the Celestial Steed. Now this was previously a store mount. I believe, if I'm not wrong, the first store mount that ever existed, and this is going to be available from the trading post in February. So those are the 2 100% confirmed mounts for the trading post, Ashadar, Harbinger of Dawn, and the Celestial Steed. So let's talk about the other 8 mounts which have been data mined. So the first data mine mount we're going to look at is the Magenta Cloud Serpent. So the description for this is more affectionate than their cousins. Magenta Cloud Serpents are known to form close bonds with their rider. So this is a recolor of the Cloud Serpent mounts. I believe a lot of these are new recolors for patch 10.05, but obviously models that are originally in the game. So yeah, this is the purple version of the Cloud Serpent. The Cloud Serpent mounts obviously mounts from Miss Pandaria. Personally, I don't like the Cloud Serpent mounts, but I gotta admit, this coloration of the Cloud Serpent is super nice, and it looks really, really good in game as well. And it's a lot more poppy and obvious than some of the other ones, apart from obviously like the raid ones. But this, yeah, this is the Magenta Cloud Serpent. Big fan of that. Obviously a flying mount as well, and a future award from the trading post. The next mount is actually my favorite, and this is the Crusty Crawler. So the description for this is: this rare giant crab has taken a break from its nautical nonsense deep under the sea to explore the surface. So this is a recolor of the mount from Nazjatar, the kind of meta achievement mount from Nazjatar that not many people have, honestly, because it is a little bit hard to get. But this is going to be a reward from the trading post at some point. It's a blue variant of that original mount. The mount special for this is phenomenal. I absolutely love this mount. I love the fact that it runs sideways as well, or gives the illusion that it runs sideways. Big fan of the crab mount. Really happy to see it coming in eventually to the trading post and being obtained a little bit easier than the Nazjatar meta achievement. The next mount we're going to look at is a parrot mount called Quarks. So the description for this is: Squawk's older and somehow louder brother appears to tolerate your presence for now. You should probably track down some crackers while you still can. So this is a purple variant of the parrot mount which we saw in Battle for Azeroth for the first time. Now I believe off the top of my head there are 2 parrot mounts which are available. There's one from Freehold and there is one from the Island Expeditions. Now this is probably going to be a lot easier to get than those 2. Not really relying on RNG. I would imagine it's just going to be either a kind of Traveler's Log reward or a reward that you purchase with Trader's Tender. But yeah, this is a purple and kind of green one. As we know, purple equals win. So for me, I think Quarks is probably one of the better looking parrot mounts. Our next mount is the Coral Stalker Wave Ray. Yes, back to Nazjatar once again. This is a new coloration of the Wave Ray mounts from patch 8.2 in Nazjatar. So there's a few of those available already. I believe one of them is from the Glory achievements of the raid, and there's one that's a rare drop as well. So this is going to be one from the trading post. This is a kind of green and blue variant of it, so I really do like the color on this. A lot brighter and unique. I really like the coloration of the Coral Stalker Wave Ray. The green looks good on this mount, of course. Pterodax. This is a new color, I believe. I don't think this was available in 8.2 at any point, so this looks like a brand new color, which is going to be available on the trading post at some point. Our next mount is the Armored Golden Pterodax. Now, the description for this says, many an unwary direhorn has met its end in a flash of glittering gold before becoming this Pterodax's next meal. So this mount is super unique for the Alliance specifically. So the Horde already have a very, very similar mount to this, but the Alliance do not. Now, the only similar mount for the Alliance is a Pterodax mount, but it doesn't have the horns. The horns are something very specific to the Horde, and this one is actually going to be the very first one for the Alliance to use with those horns attached. Cool looking mount, obviously eventually inspired the dragon riding mounts of Dragonflight, so we're going to be seeing the golden Pterodax come in. I would love to see this as a full transform for the Pterodax mount in dragon riding. That would be awesome. I don't think that's going to happen, but specifically this is cool to see a brand new coloration of the armored golden Pterodax mount. The next mount is the Cerulean Marsh Hopper. So the description for this is, Gotham's expansion into export markets was inevitable, with the news of the trading post reaching even the depths of the Frog Marsh. So Gotham is the vendor which sells all of the frog mounts. I believe they're 333,000 gold, something like that. There's a couple of them available, and this is going to be a brand new one, which is going to be available on the trading post. It's a blue and red variant of the frog mount, which is nice. Obviously, we did get a new frog mount in Shadowlands, but this is going to be a new one, which is going to be available on the trading post. Not for gold, but for Trader's Tender or for completing the Traveler's Log. Now, those are all the mounts which we actually have models for. Now, there are 2 more mounts which are listed as available from the trading post. Now, these could be faction specific. Now, let me know down below if you think they are. So the first one is the Armored Siege Kodo. So the description for this says, only the strongest and most fearless of Kodos can be trained to become living siege weapons. Even the highest walls won't keep them out for long. So, no idea what this looks like. As mentioned, the model is encrypted, or just not in the game yet. It could be a recolor of the Vicious Kodo mount, could be Horde specific as well. The reason I say that is because the other encrypted mount is the Savage Green Battle Turtle. So, the description for this is, turtle too slow to chase down your foes, just add cannons. Nothing can outrun a cannon. So, I think this mount might actually end up looking like Blastoise or something, I don't even know. But yeah, this could be an Alliance only one, or they could both be for Alliance and Horde. I think potentially they're going to be available for both. We've had Kodos before for the Alliance through Brewfest and things like that, so I don't see them really restricting it too much there. So yeah, again, the Savage Green Battle Turtle could be a recolor of one of the Vicious mounts, one of the Vicious Turtle mounts, or a brand new model nonetheless, but it doesn't have a model in the game files as of right now, which is either encrypted or just not in yet. So yeah, the last 2 are very interesting, the Armored Siege Kodo and the Savage Green Battle Turtle. So there you go, that is the 10 mounts which are confirmed for the trading post. Now, Wowhead did data mine a bunch of other mounts which haven't really been confirmed, at least through the mount journal. I'm just looking at the mount journal entries for these mounts specifically, which do list the trading post as a source. Now, yeah, Wowhead data mined a bunch of new recolors which they did add, and no doubt they probably will be for the trading post, I would imagine. But these are the mounts which are, like, basically confirmed to come to the trading post at some point. So let me know down below what you think of these mounts. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Are you a bit annoyed that they're recolors of existing mounts? I think it's nice to see some of the kind of recolors coming in for specifically like the crab mount, for example, which is a very difficult mount to get. Could annoy people that went and got it in Nazjatar potentially, but for me, I'm really looking forward to getting it, and I really like the trading post a lot. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Please do leave a like on this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. That'll be very much appreciated. If you'd like to support me outside of YouTube, I have a Patreon, or you can go follow me on Twitter at MrGMYT. I also have a Discord channel as well, and as mentioned, I'm now streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me streaming World of Warcraft, Dragonflight PTR, Wrath Itching Classic, any sort of World of Warcraft, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.